Good morning. Hey, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master, Manager, Coach, Scrum Master. I came to talk this morning. It's about 7:47. If you hear snoring in the background, it's Betty the dog. She's like sound asleep right behind me. So I don't know what this is going to sound like on podcasts and stuff like that. I have no idea. Oh, and speaking of podcasts, I saw we got a listener in Colombia down in South America. So, hey, welcome to the crew. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send it our way. Today is Fortune Cookie Friday. Yay! And I got the simplest topic. I just want to reminisce over a daily scrum that I had yesterday that went really well. It was crazy good for our new team, and talk about why they're there and what they did and the experience that I saw. Anyway, so this is 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. This is our 615th episode here, and we talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical, tactical way, so you can have effective meetings and not waste time, and bring value to the customer, not spend crazy hours to get there, have a little fun on the way, and get home to your family and friends. And so yesterday, I had one Scrum team's really progressing well. They're open to conflict. And when I say conflict, they're open to discussing things and working things out, having a disagreement, wanting to go one way, one wants to go another way, and have that without taking offense to it. Problem is, in today's society, everybody takes offense to one little thing. You mistake one thing, and no one's willing to, like, okay, I don't get what you're saying about where we at, or I really want this, I want this. Let's talk about it for a little bit and spend some quality time having a conversation. Today's society, they want to assume what everybody else wants to know, and that just screws up the communication. So this team is working good. They have their conflict, they're doing things, they're learning new things. I'm showing them how to use Jira in a virtual world. Now, when I say in a virtual world, it can be different in the regular world where you can see things. But in the virtual world, there's certain techniques I use to help focus people's attention on what is being talked about, because it's very important, because in the virtual world, you can be all over the place and phones and everything going off everywhere, right? So it's important. People say, well, you don't need, no, it is important. It's a mental thing. It's a visual thing. Just as you can see. I mean, shoot, I don't think videos more than a minute long anymore get watched a lot, to be honest with you. I've seen videos go down to 4, now they're down to 1. I don't know how much information they can get. But so what was really nice about it, I had help work the Scrum Master to set it up so that first I'm saying, rather than you calling everybody out, just make a list of everybody's name and go with the list of names as you go and have them all talk in a row so they all get equal time to share. Because in the old school, the tech leads and leads spoke most of the time, and most of the group never talked. So purposely built the daily scrum so there was this person, then this person, then this person, and then this person. And the way we do the visual is we use Jira in this case. I could do it with Azure or Rally or anything that's out there. And when it does their Scrum board, it's broken down in swim lanes. I usually don't like doing this, but for daily Scrum, I do, just to keep the effective pace. And they just read the name of the person and focus on their line on the swim lane as they talk, so they can talk to what's on the board, what's going on. And they had a good conversation. The good conversation was, hey, this will be done. I'm waiting for such and such from so-and-so. And then so-and-so on the team would respond, yeah, I'll have that for you. My plan is this afternoon. So that exchange of what is needed and what's going on. And even the other person who later on came on, she said, I need something else, like some kind of thing from, and I won't say what it was because you can figure it out. But she needed something from somebody else to get her job. So it was a good conversation as each one went through where they were working and then what they needed from somebody else and when they would have available for somebody else, which is what you want in a daily scrum. You want that exchange of how things are going to roll throughout the day so people can plan their day. So they're not messing around. They're not expecting stuff. They get all hyped up. So that's another thing in this society. Everybody has expectations like it's going to be here tomorrow. It's not necessarily going to be here tomorrow. It never was, no matter where it was. And have that expectation builds up anxiety and conflict, negative conflict in people. By expressing that and telling people what we're playing and where your difficulties are, it brings down the negative conflict. So the whole daily scrum was about that. They went through, everybody on the list went through. They even looked at a dashboard I helped the scrum master create to show how, from a higher level view, what's going on with the team, like the burn down chart, stuff that's sitting, if there's any flags, so they know what's going on. And they even went into like a last check, because one of the things I did as a coach, because they had some time, I said, why don't you go hit the other one that has the storyboard, so you can make sure how the stories are progressing, just see if there's any stories that may have only one task left to get done, and maybe you can say, hey, this task is the last one. Do you all want to swarm on it so we can move it to done, so we can get it done on the sprint? Because the whole idea is you want, well, I kicked the camera, sorry about that. The whole idea is you want to get to work in front of the product owner, in front of the stakeholders, get their feedback to see if it's okay, and get that rapid feedback in the sprint. You do not wait to the end of the sprint. Someone said that to me the other day. Well, we can't do the 2 week things because we can't wait 2 weeks. I'm like, whoever told you 2 weeks? You had to wait 2 weeks to put something in production. I never said that. The Scrum guide never says that. No one says that. Even Scrum doesn't. Man, if nobody says that, if this stuff's done and you have the capability, deploy it if that's what the customer wants, period. Right? So anyway, it was a great daily scrum. I even asked one scrum master, he's like, oh, that was amazing. That was great. That's how I envisioned how a daily scrum would run. It was actually textbook. I was waiting for the shoe to drop to blow it up and fail. But it was really good. Everyone went. They talked about how their things were working, what they were working on, any blockers they had, what their plans were, anything they're delayed on. So they had that kind, but each person got to talk. And in the end, the scrum master kind of went over the dashboard just to kind of double check on things. And they had, and I don't think they took 8 minutes. I mean, I think they took 10 minutes. Let's say it was 10 minutes to get through the daily scrum. And it was a nice sized team. It wasn't a small team. It wasn't a team of 2. There was quite a few people on the team. I think there's like 6 or 7 or 8 people, and they got it done like in 10 minutes, plus or minus. And but it was a full conversation, and it wasn't like they cut people off at the time. Hey, we're out of time. Fully conversation, cool, fully thing. It was a beautiful daily scrum. I wish I had recorded it, to be honest with you, and used it at the office. But what I had done was interesting as an Agile enterprise coach, an Agile coach and Scrum Master. I invited, and I purposely with this team, because it's going so well, invited other Scrum Masters in my organization with permission from their team to attend their daily Scrum. And I sent out invitations for not the whole sequence of meetings, but I sent out invitations for the next couple daily Scrums so they can attend and kind of see how it does. If they don't go, that's their problem, right? I think, but when people go, they say, yeah, this is what it's supposed to be. I can't force anybody to learn and see and experience what it would really visually be like. But theirs was very textbook. It was like, that would be the textbook one that you would put in the book and share with everybody. So it was really good. So I just want to share that with you. And like I said, the reason why it worked good, because they're okay with telling each other they needed something from somebody else. It's okay to say, I need your help. It's okay to say, and it's okay to tell them, I don't have it right now, but I'll have it for you later in the day. It's okay. And this is that safety, the psychological safety, and the ability to have conflict and discussion. People are so afraid of that. And they're also, bowing down to other people. So they're learning to talk. This whole thing about having each person talk, and we talked about this before, kind of forces, oh my God, you're forcing people to do something. Yeah, I am. Seriously, I'm forcing them to talk so they get comfortable with talking, because with the more practice, the better it gets. I actually listened to, I won't say it, but yeah, I did listen to Michelle Obama had talked about that yesterday at a Girl Scout thing. My daughter was on. I was kind of listening on the side just to hear what was going on. She says about practicing and getting a lot of practice in, and that's practice asking questions. When you get used to, it's okay. You can ask questions. Some people are going to know more about a subject and some are not. I totally agree. It was such an Agile thing. practicing. Because if you don't practice, you won't get comfortable and it just won't flow. The more you practice, the more it flows. So what'll be interesting today is that the Scrum Master's out today. So I'm going to sit and listen to it and see how it goes. And then I'm going to reflect with the person who's kind of running it, calling the people's names, because it is virtual. I have another group that he doesn't even call the names anymore, and the people just know who's next and they just go. And I'm like, that's great. That's the way it should be. But that's what we're doing. So I just want to share that with you. And I said, maybe I'll let you know tomorrow how the daily scrum goes, because the Scrum Master's going to be out, and see how the rest of the team takes over. Because this is one thing, Scrum Masters, I tell them, that's the first ceremony I kind of want you out of, to be honest with you. I want the team to run it. I want the team to go with it. I just want you to sit there and listen for blockers, things you can help with, conversations you see not happening. Like if there's blockers on the board and no one talks about it, make sure you bring it up. There's sometimes when the Scrum Master needs to bring that stuff up. Say, hey, I saw a blocker on the board, but no one brought it up. What's the status of that? What's going on with that? Who's working on that, and what's holding us back, and what can I do to help? Right? So that's what that would be. Okay. Fortune Cookie Friday. Yay! And the dog's probably going to want to eat the cookie. Fortune Cookie Friday. And the Agile accountants had put a message to us about this show in this fortune cookie. There is a message buried in here that we will apply to Agile, Scrum, or to the episode we talked about. So I am opening the cookie. Opening the cookie. Let's see what those Agile accountants have to say for today. It'll be interesting. Okay. Praise like golden diamonds owes its value to its scarcity. So praise like golden diamonds owes its value to scarcity. I would say it's like giving medals to everybody who plays the sport, even though they didn't do very well and they didn't win anything. That's kind of like overpraise. That's trophies and things are valuable when you earn it, and you don't get it every day of your life. I guess our conversation, and I'm going to turn it into a conflict thing. No conflict is bad, right? Some conflict every once in a while is good, because that makes you grow and grow as a person, grow as a team. So you don't want to have conflict all the time, because it's just going to destroy the team. But conflict every once in a while from a scarcity perspective is a good thing. Maybe that works. Maybe that's kind of one. But I think that's a good one. Praise like gold and diamonds owes its value to its scarcity. Is that like playing video games every day of the week in the office? Kind of like doesn't work much. But if you set up a system where every sprint you celebrate what you've done and maybe play a video game match in the office or online with your group, that makes it more valuable, like gold and diamonds. Doing it every day may not be, but maybe an Agile meetup group, like I'm trying to figure out how to do the meetup group. I want to do the meetup so it's valuable and it's like gold and diamonds. But I don't want to do it so often that it's an everyday thing and then no one goes, right? There's a balance to that. I know I've hosted some group meetings. There's a balance for doing it like all the time and then no one goes, or two people go, versus every once in a while. So it's more valuable to them and more of an opportunity, something they really want to go to. So I'm kind of toying with that right now. What is the combination? Shoot, I could talk about Agile and Scrum every day of the week, but not everybody can do. And even myself, I don't go to every one of the conferences because there's times I'm just busy, right? And if I know I'm not going to see another conference for another 2 months, I might make the extra effort to get to that conference. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, there's a couple things. So again, like conflict, you don't want conflict every day because it just gets bad. You want conflict every once in a while so you can say, hey, let's retrospect on that. Let's get better on that. The other thing is having meetings or celebrating all the time, every day, gets old. You kind of want to space it out a little bit. But I would definitely say have a celebration. Treat your sprint end, your sprint review at the end of the sprint like golden diamonds. We got there. Let's celebrate. Let's enjoy it. Enjoy that scarcity and enjoy that value every end of every sprint, right? Or maybe once a month. I don't know. Do something. And then the other one, when you have meetups, you got to space it out a little bit so people think it's a valuable thing and make that little effort to join as a group. So that's what I got for today. Don't know if that works, but I'm going with it because I don't know. I want more golden diamonds in the Agile world anyhow. All right, with that, have a great day. Ooh, I'm late for my coaching session. That's not good. And ring the bell if you like the show. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and bye. Happy Scrumming.